Yeah, I just remember the craze around the media in those days,
Yeah,
2013, 14. It was OpenStack had emerged,
yeah.
and then infrastructure was a thing, and then Docker
Programmable
emerged.
infrastructure, right? And wow, this is amazing. Like, we don't have to worry about servers really anymore if we do
Yeah,
this right. We don't have to. Yeah,
yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, Gary. I was thinking about this earlier. So VMware, like if you were to look at it 20 years ago, hypervisor, which was theirs, they didn't open
yeah,
source that, but let's just say then the virtual machines again theirs,
yeah,
and then again not open, and then the control plane on top of that, vCloud, vCenter,
yeah.
etc. That again was theirs, and it
There,
was
that's
kind of
proprietary.
tightly coupled.
Yeah, yeah,
And the vision was to virtualize the data center and also kind of hybrid cloud, all that. But they did really well to kind of do that full integrated stack. But they from the beginning there was no open sourceness. You were to inherit that and try to replicate that. It must have been so tough. Did you ever in your head
yeah.
try to reverse that, or like, guys, look at VMware, or was that off the
Yeah, no,
table?
absolutely. And a lot of time what we say is, hey, if you were going to do VMware today, you would open source the hypervisor,
Yeah,
and then maybe try and sell vSphere.
yeah,
And to some extent, that's what we tried to do, right? And I think the challenge was, can you open source the hypervisor, or the equivalent, right, which is sort of the container engine, and open source a lot of stuff around the container engine, and at the same time sort of build something that is like vSphere without without sort of the downsides. And that was a really tough thing. And I think part of the challenges at Docker was, well, gee, should Docker be the ones to build this, or should this be Kubernetes, or should it be something else like that, right? Or should it be vSphere that ends up managing containers and VMs, right? And again, I think I feel really good about what we built as a business. I feel fantastic about what we built in terms of like
yeah.
a community and like changing the world. Could we have done a better job in sort of navigating the waters there? Yeah, and I think could we have done a better job sort of embracing things like Kubernetes earlier on rather than allowing it to be sort of positioned as against us? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's very tough when you're in the thick of it. You're looking at contributors, pull requests, downloads, repos, just going like that,
Yeah,
and even like Docker cons, just going like that. And then you even created the Open Container Initiative. What was
yeah,
that?
yeah,
The
yeah.
OCI. And so you're corralling. I want to talk about that one as a side, but there's all this like celebrity about Docker. And then you're probably the CEO, and you probably have Jerry Chan and folks be talking to you and be like, okay, where's the revenue? I'm
Oh, of
not saying,
course.
and so it must be so hard. Like you want to see the community thrive. That's what they're getting the energy from. But you're so it's I don't envy that position. It's hard. I don't think there's any right answer in that situation.
No,
It's kind
no,
of
right. And I think what we have to be really careful about is you don't start believing your own hype, or I mean, you're never as good as they say you are on the way up. You're never as bad as they say you
yeah.
are on the way down, right? I mean,
The way I look at it is this was
yeah,
almost like a general magic-like thing. If you were to draw an
yeah,
analogy, just something, so just there's an altruistic thing that's just given to the community. Because I remember at AWS 2014, you took the stage, right?
yeah,
And I remember even saying like, 18 months ago we were like nobody, and here I am on stage. I could never. But you
yeah,
said something about um, we're disruptive. Imagine what happens when you liberate developers to
yeah,
do what they do. Imagine what we happens when we liberate apps from infrastructure.
yeah,
And then who wins when we kind of liberate the creativity for the developers to
yeah.
innovate? And the answer, and you said, is pretty clear: we all win.
Yeah.
And I think that was a seminal, summary
Oh,
of
thank you. No, 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 I remember that, and that was true, right? That felt true. That okay, if we do this right, the world is going to win, right? I
yeah,
mean, and we're going to build great things, and we're going to build it faster, and we're going to unleash creativity. And yeah, there are going to be some people who quote unquote win, right, economically or make more
yeah.
money off it, but we all win, and I think that's true, right? And so
That's the way I look at it.
yeah,
Honestly, it's
yeah,
it's this was a seminal kind of like tectonic thing that happened, thanks to you and the Docker organization, right?
right.
So that's the way
Well,
I look at it.
Solomon had this singular vision really early
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
that changed the world, and
yeah,
good outcome.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I think there are certain things, whether it's TCP/IP or Kubernetes,
Exactly.
Docker, where a lot
Exactly.
of what you have to judge is what did they enable, right? I don't think anybody ever
Exactly.
made a dime off of TCP/IP, but boy, changed the world much more than Novell did.
Exactly. Exactly. And even just looking at the partner ecosystem,
Yeah.
all the dev tools that it spurted, and the repositories, Docker Hub, that vision,
Yeah, no, a lot of great things.
microservices that it started, the microservices movement.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Yeah.